Well, good morning to you again, church family. Once again, thank you this morning or today for being with me. Um, Yesterday, we talked a little bit about the two different types also of sin offerings. Um, and so the one that I asked you, to kind of look and see what the second one was. We had talked about the sin offering, and then sin offering was for anything that we had done unknowingly. Um, and so then the next one was the trespass offering. Now, the trespass offering was an offering that was to be offered up unto the Lord. Um, Anytime that you had trespassed against your brothers, your neighbors, whoever, it's the same thing that Jesus said. He said, in these two commandments, he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. That goes right back, to what we've talked about, in the meal offering, the peace offering, and the burnt offering, was that those three were always something that God desired. So once again, the one thing that God desires is that we love him, and that we don't just love him somewhat, but that we love him, with everything within us, that we love him with our hearts, our minds, our soul, our emotions. I mean, that we just love him. And then Jesus, the next thing he said, he goes, and that you love your neighbors as yourself. And so that's what the trespass offering was for. It was for if we had trespassed against our neighbor, then there was an offering that was supposed to be rendered for that. Could you imagine today, excuse me, if every time we said something wrong to our neighbor, or every time that we didn't do for our brothers or sisters, or every time that we wasn't there for them, could you imagine if we had to offer up an offering every time that took place in our lives today? It would cost us. And that's the thing that you see. The one thing that God wanted to see is that it would cost us whenever we were doing something that we wanted to do. When we do something for the Lord and we want to please God and we want to be pleasing to him, it's not always going to be something that is easy. It's not always going to be something that is just doesn't require anything of us. And then the next thing is that whenever we sin, there's a cost associated with that. Today we live in a time today when we feel like, oh, if we mess up, God understands, God doesn't care, it's no big deal. It does matter. It cost him, his son, his life. And when we think that that doesn't matter, it does. Next thing, we think, it's no big deal if we just, treat people the way we want, or we're not social, or we're not caring, or we're not concerned, or we're not helping, or we're not doing anything. That was the one thing that God was trying to create in his people. And Israel was that type and shadow of the people of God, and that's who we are today. And the one thing that God still wants to cultivate in us today is that we have a love one for another, that we care about one another, and that we're cautious about the things that we say, that we're cautious about the things that we do, towards those things. And so today, we're going to go into chapter number 4. I told you I was going to try to make this a little bit shorter. I'm going to try to do a little bit better. In chapter number 4, you're going to see something also. And I want you just to kind of look for it. Now, you don't have to read all these chapters. I'm not trying to make you read the chapters, but the one thing that I do want to try is just to help us to see something. And thank you to the people who have taken the time to, look over these and that have sent me things. I really do appreciate that. And it's not that I want it just so we get it. I want to just see what it is that you get from things. You know what I mean? I like to just see it. Amen. But so today you're going to see two different things in Leviticus 4. And then I'll see if we go any further with the book of Leviticus. The biggest reason I wanted to go into these 4 chapters, the Bible tells us that we're this priest. We're a royal priesthood unto the Lord. They were the ones who were responsible for the offerings and offering them up unto the Lord. Today, I don't know today. The Bible tells us, present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Lord, which is your reasonable service. I don't know sometimes if we think about that. We don't think sometimes, I don't know if the God in whom we serve is that, he has requirements. And there's things that he's looking for in us. So I just wanted to, us to look at a couple things here. Hopefully, see that, we should be a little more diligent in what we do. That we're not just diligent in doing everything for everybody and for ourselves, but, man, that we take some thought throughout the course of the day to think about, what can I do for you today, Lord? You know what I mean? But anyhow, just take care today. I love you. Pray today that you're blessed, and Lord's willing, I may get to see you tonight. I'm going to try to do a devotion again or do some type of a teaching tonight. So we'll be in prayer about that. But look in chapter 4. See if you see something there that kind of just stands out to you. And think about, I wonder why, okay? Well, I love you. Once again, thank you again, and I truly love you, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.